Good morning. Hello to everyone. It is amazing how every moment I can choose what I can experience. And we can give many definitions about what life is. But life is about experiencing. And what a gift when we realize that we can experience the highest qualities just by becoming the masters of our inner world, starting with our own attention. So we're giving now our attention to the highest thoughts. So one thing is for sure, we're going to experience the highest without doing anything else, just becoming the masters of our attention.
At this time, you are playing the parts of master bestowers. You now have to become the children of the true Guru and play your parts of bestowers of the blessings of liberation and salvation. Do you know what the form of a master Guru is? The form of Master Satguru means those who follow completely. They are the ones who completely follow every word of the true Guru. The form of the true Guru means the one who makes you perfect and equal to himself and takes you back home. As soon as you give directions, they are liberated. This is why a mantra given by a guru is very famous. When they receive a mantra, in a second, they feel that they have attained liberation. A mantra means elevated directions. You will give directions with such a powerful stage that souls will feel that they have found the destination of liberation and salvation. Adopt such a powerful stage now.
The nature of every soul in this world is to share, to have relationships with others. And how about if someone told us that you have a perfect companion in all relationships, except that you cannot see him, but you can feel him? And what if this one who is totally trustworthy because he's perfect has this role that subconsciously we're looking for, this kind of relationship of a guru, someone who is taking you from the darkness to the light, but in a unique way. He is wise, but he also has powers, magical powers, because not only this one, this perfect one, this supreme being has knowledge, has ultimate wisdom, but of course he is this. And when you are something, you have the ultimate power. And so by becoming aware of this, being in this relationship, then one is able to experience his powers, because he's the embodiment of light, the embodiment of truth. And as he experiences them, and we are aware of him as the Guru, then we are able to experience these powers that we are, and he becomes the light that shows to us with what we also are. And this way, in a magical way, we also experience the extraordinariness of the truth that we are. And everything then we do in this awareness becomes a blessing. The same way we have received the blessings of the Guru, the Satguru, the Guru that shows to us the path to truth, to reality. In the same way, we ourselves having experienced it, we naturally become the light that shows to others their own magical reality, their own power, their own light. What is a blessing? A blessing is when it's connected with easiness, with magic. So when we make things easy for others, it becomes a blessing for them. And when we experience, then everything becomes easy for others, because they don't have to make the same effort we did. They experience it. They experience the result of what we experience.
Make your stage so constant that they constantly see a sparkling star. Your sparkling light needs to be visible from a distance. As yet, only those who came into contact with you experience this. However, this touching and vibration has to spread far into the distance. There is a need for this practice. You are all stars. But now, what is a light? You are constantly sparkling perfect stars. Reveal yourselves in this way. You don't sometimes hide behind the clouds, do you? Do clouds come? If such perfect sparkling stars sometimes hide in the clouds, then the souls of the world would not be able to see them clearly. Have the thought of remaining constantly stable and constantly shine like the sun. The duty of you is to fly and help others fly. Your original stage is a flying stage. Those who have the flying stage will overcome all problems in a second. They will overcome them in such a way that it will be as though nothing happened. None of the things down below will disturb them. When you fly in a plane, even the Himalayas don't become an obstruction. You go across the mountains with enjoyment. In the same way, the biggest problems become very easy for those who are in the flying stage.
They say that a repetition is the mother for learning. And whether we realize it or not, we constantly repeat thoughts, feelings, attitudes perspectives. And we are here to be very conscious of what's going on within us. At the same time, knowing that we have free will, we can decide what we repeat. And this very simple repetition, we can call it practice, of another perspective that is the highest perspective, in all levels highest, the perspective of a star-like being. So just by letting go the perspective of the role that we're so familiar with, and we know what feelings and what inner environment this creates. So by just choosing to see the perspective of a star that is only light, only silence, a star that is living and experiences silence. Have we ever experimented with this? Can we decide to do this now? And what does it feel like? And how others around us feel like by such an unusual, unique perspective? And why not to experiment with it with this attitude that it's fun? Let me find out this new perspective, what would give to me. And for the ones who have experimented, they know that everything then feels so different, including what we thought it was problem. All difficulties appear not difficulties anymore, just small games that were created by the mind. And with the wrong perspective, the perspective of the ego, of the role, because identifying with the role is ego. Ego makes everything very difficult. So just by coming out in a second and becoming this silent, sparkling point of light, star-like living being, then all the thoughts created by my ego that thinks as a role, it's like they're dissolving. They lose their power. They lose their significance. And then I can play the game of life in such a different way. So benevolent for the self and for everyone. Do we have the courage to experiment with this other perspective and repeat it until it becomes our nature again?
Would you like to share? What is the significance of the sparkling star? You have described the practice and also to understand that it is related to your experience, to your feelings, to your attitudes. It is not visual or physical, the sparkling star, It is a light of knowledge. It is a light of peaceful feelings, the light of being joyful. And when you experience that inner light and lightness, and when you have that feeling that your vision is on the soul, then would you like to continue, Anna?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Our mind, everyone has a mind, this screen where everything is projected. Our mind is full of images of this physical world. And we have all seen stars in the sky. And we like to see stars. And perhaps one of the reasons is that they are the closest, maybe, image to the form of the self. Of course, the self is a non-physical entity. So the closest from this physical world that can describe, define about someone who is from not this world is a star. So by starting with this image of the star in the mind, then as we allow our attention to rest on the silence, on the personality that this star, living star, is, and as our attention remains, and I would say is more and more attracted towards this image to start with, then we start realizing that we have never been anything else except an incorporeal being. And even the mind is part of this incorporeal star-like being. And so we see now very clearly that with this so simple and clear knowledge, we start understanding that we are not this human form. We are a star. So we are using our own mind, which is our assistant, to create our image. And so as we are focusing on this image, then we realize we are not an image anymore, but we start to experience the reality of who we are. So our mind is like a signpost that shows to us that we are this silent incorporeal presence, star-like. The star-like also shows to us the contrast between the human form that we thought that we are and the incorporeal personality that we are. And the more we stay in this silence of this invisible presence, then magic happens. It is the best way of experiencing life.
Thank you. Anyone would like to share? Then we meet again tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye.